What up, players? It's your boy, J Dog. I feel like I'm a little high. Um, just got back from volleyball, kicking it with the squad. First outdoor sesh. I was pretty stoked about that. I I've been watching this YouTuber a lot more. I think his name's Ken on YouTube. You guys probably won't like him because all he does is play Clash Royale, which is this like mobile game that I honestly spend majority of my free time playing. Like I don't really use social media, so instead like I substitute some of that time for just playing this mobile game. It's like really stupid, like a 10-year-old could play it, but like I think it's really fun. It's honestly like the more I play it, I'm like, it's just gonna sound so stupid, but it's a lot like chess. Like you kind of basically like you play another person online, and you have what's called like a deck with all these different like cards that like have different abilities, and the goal is just to like basically take the other person's like towers, they call them, and you have to sort of like outsmart the other player. And like when I first started playing in high school, I was just kind of like dropping down cards and not really thinking much about what the other guy has. But now I'm at this point where like I'm pretty good, and like there's like ground and air troops. So say like I have an air troop that can like kill the tower. Like usually decks from the other player, like they only have so many cards that can hit air, right? So like I you kind of like count cards a little bit, and like if you see them like use one of their air cards, then you know like, oh, I'm gonna play my card then because they don't have any defense, So it is a lot of like kind of thinking a step ahead and being like, oh, they wasted that card, I'm gonna play this now. Um, but why I bring this guy up is because Ken is he he has a really interesting style. So he'll just play games of Royale, but the whole time like he'll get like he'll say a lot of funny stuff, and then he'll like tell stories about his life. Um and I kind of got inspired from him that like I think um like I really like the idea of sort of telling stories like just in general. Like I think it's a really cool thing, and I honestly think that a large reason why he has such a big following isn't because he's really good at Clash Royale, although he is really good. Like it more so is like he has the ability to like make you laugh on like like a tough day. Like I think the past couple weeks I've kind of just been locked in writing mode, and um writing's fun, but it's incredibly isolating, and like you don't feel like, I mean, I like today I think until I had volleyball tonight, I think I said probably 200 words total, like, which is crazy because I'm definitely like a yapper. Like I like to talk. So when I went to volleyball, I was like, holy, like I was like, I feel like I'm not even, I can't even talk. Like I was like, am I capable of this? It's like weird. Um, but yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have a change in pace. Like usually I'll say album of the week, but it hasn't changed because I've just been busy. But um, I wanna, before I get to wisdom of the week, like give you guys a story, like a recent story that I dealt with, maybe one from my past or one like currently now, because I have a lot of good stories that I can tell you guys. I think so. Of recent note, probably the funniest story I've had is, so I went to Zion last week, as you guys know if you watched the last episode, and I like uh, so I was like with this guy who I just met like a few hours prior, and we were like basically cheering on people that were running this like trail race. And we cheered him on, whatever, like she did a good job, and we were heading home for the night back to the Airbnb, and it's on this like long dirt road. And like the following day there were going to be a lot of people like on this dirt road, so I think they were just kind of, there were like, it was a very bumpy road, so I think they were trying to like fill in some of the holes. So they had this truck, as we were leaving, that was going one way, that was like laying down all this dirt, and we're like, oh, like we didn't really think much of it. Like it was a really nice night out, so we had the windows down, and this guy was like laying down dirt, and we were just kind of vibing. We had our music on. We're in Zion, like you can't really complain. Like it was just a great time. and neither of us were running, so we're like, okay, we're just gonna stay up late tonight. Like it's just a lit vacation for sure. Um, and then like all of a sudden another truck comes, and this is when it gets just out of hand. And we're like going down the road. We got our music on. We're just chilling. And all of a sudden, like both of us like stop talking and we're just like watching this truck as it like is coming towards us. And like we didn't have enough time to react, but all of a sudden like we see something like shooting out of this truck and we're like, what is that? And I kind of look at him, I'm like, what is going on there? And all of a sudden, like this truck goes by and it's just blasting like a hose full of water just out of the truck. And my boy is in this, I think it was like an Acura, like a pretty nice car. And he like we're like up higher too, so we're like eye level with this water, and it just shoots through the car. Like most of it hit him, but like the windows are down, so like you have this nice interior leather just like blasted with water, and like his whole shirt was just soaked. And I didn't even know this guy. I knew him for all of probably 5 hours, and I'm just like laughing. I'm just like, is he soaked? He's like, what the hell? Like, it was just hilarious. So then, we went back and it wasn't like, it was just water, but it was just so funny. Like why the car was blasting water out horizontally like that, I have no idea. Like it was so obviously like, I think packed on the dirt to make it wet, but like, in terms of why it was blasting at us, like it was just literally like hitting every car it went by. It was just very, very stupid. But yeah, that's like a recent story that I thought was really funny that like I wanted to share with you guys. And maybe in the future like it won't just be necessarily all funny stories, but like that's like usually stories that I like to tell are more geared towards being funny, because it's just like some of the stuff that happens in your life you just gotta kind of sit back and laugh at a little bit. And I guess, sort of transitioning into the wisdom of the week, like I honestly don't have a lot to talk about. Like, I think what, I've just kind of been locked in writing mode, and I've been thinking a lot about sort of just like enjoying the ride, because again, like anything, like you get in certain phases of your life, and um like anything, like it's gonna pass, and it is just another phase. Whether that phase is a good one or a bad one, and you look back on it and you're like, dang, I wish I'd never go back there, and I'm so glad I do. Or you have those other days where it's like, dang, like I wish I could just get that back and like get that feeling again and again. Um, so that's something I've been thinking about lately, but I feel like I've kind of touched on that through numerous episodes, just kind of like enjoying the ride and stuff, and not like thinking too much about like, the what's to come, what you're in now. Like don't dwell on it too much. Just know that you're gonna get through it. But I think more so kind of what I was thinking of. I have like a list of like 15 episodes that I have ideas for, and this one I've kind of been banking for a while, just because I don't think there's like a ton to talk about, but I think it's still like worth giving it its own episode. Um, so like this was actually back in January. I went to a movie with a friend. Um, and dude, honestly, the older I get, the more I'm like the really like weekends when you can't do anything crazy, but you just like you maybe have like a Friday night and you're not doing anything. Like I really find that like I don't know, in college it was always about like going to the bars, like like literally exerting all your energy, so then the next day you have nothing left and you're just like drinking and like off the walls with all this energy. But honestly, as I get older, like I'm really appreciating the like kind of just the more like chill, simple nights. Like I remember with this night with my friend Ari, we wanted to like just we both like really like the movie theater, so we just wanted to like go and see a movie. And like it wasn't that deep. It was like this really lame, like scary movie. We didn't know it was gonna be lame, but we gave it a shot and it ended up being pretty lame. But it was like during this really big snowstorm. I want to say it was January, and um, I don't know why. It was just such a simple night, but it like stuck out to me. Like it was just a very fun night. And um, all that to say though, I think I got inspiration from that night to make this episode. And um there's like some things in your life that like you just like and you don't even really know why you like them. Going to the movies is one of those for me. Like I I go to the movie theaters and I think it's just like the feeling of I just feel like I'm a kid when I'm in like a kid in a candy store. Like again, like I don't know if a kid can really describe why he likes a candy store. Like maybe he just likes the idea of eating candy, but it's just like it's the same thing with me in movies. Like I think it I one thing I've mentioned in Life of the Germ is that I'm a really big sucker for like nostalgia, and I think that kind of has something to do with it. Like when you go to the movies, the movies are kind of one of those things that lose not for me, but I think for a lot of people they sort of lose um like the special feeling you get inside when you go to the movies. Like everyone remembers when they were a kid, like going to the movies was like a big deal, like we're going to go to the movies. And like looking back in reality, like your parents paid $5 for a movie ticket. Like I don't know why it was such a big deal, but it was. And now I think it remains a big deal for me because I look back on those times and I'm kind of like, oh, like old me thought this was a big deal, and now I still think it is a big deal because like I think young me thought it was, and I think it just subconsciously like makes me reflect on my life, how like things have gotten more complicated, but some things like remain the same and like can still be simple, and you can still enjoy a really like simple thing that, you don't have to go skydiving to like have these really cool memories, and I think this is good evidence of it. Like, um, because I don't honestly I don't remember the plot of the movie. Like it was a really lame movie. Um, but I do like remember the feeling I had when I walked into the theater and I'm like, yeah, it's snowing and I could have just been like sitting on my couch, but no, I'm like going to the theater and hanging out with my friend, And um yeah, I think stepping back from all this, um I wanted to just share this because I feel like if I feel this, there's definitely someone else out there that also feels this. Um, and I think one thing I've gotten better about, but I still do a lot with my friends is like, um, I sort of just like let them govern what the night is gonna look like. Like, oh, like what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And generally, I feel like I affiliate myself with friends that like to do similar things as me, so I don't really care what we do because I know whatever they pick is going to be fun. But there are some instances and some nights where like my friends want to do something and I'm not really in the mood to do it. And I will say there's a time and a place where like sometimes you just got to man up and just do it, right? But I will say like the more you go on in life, the more you realize that there's less and less of this wiggle room or free time where you have a chance to do the things that really like energize you, and um, I think I was really bad about this in college. Like my friends would always like, let's go out, let's go out, let's go out. I think it got to the point where it's like, let's go out because we know later on in life we're not going to go out as much, which is just like a stupid mindset to have. Like it really is. And um, yeah, well, like I made a lot of memories. I think there were also a lot of nights where I'm like, I don't really want to go out. Like I would have much preferred to just like hang out with my friends and like we don't need to be at a bar necessarily, And um I think what I wanted to say about this was that like if you're kind of like more of like passive and making plans and doing this and doing that, like one thing I will say is that like your friends make plans with you all the time, and they if it's a similar case as me, like they're always the one picking what to do. So like maybe one night you get the friends together and you have a cool idea and like you decide what you want to do, and if they want to come, that's up to them, and if they don't, then whatever, like. But like for example, with my friends, like going to the movies doesn't happen that often, but like if you want it to happen and you want someone to be there, like do things that are going to energize you. And I think there is some compromise. Like every once in a while, like you'll have to do things that energize them, and you're there because you know that that's what they like to do. But a good friend also recognizes that like even if there's something that they don't like to do, they'll do it because they know that you like it, and they know that it gives you energy, and they know that if they want you to be there and experience that with you, you know, like you want it to be a collective thing that everyone experiences. And um yeah, I just think there's something to be said for that. Like don't um like yeah, just reach out to the, you know, and don't be afraid to like speak up and like say, hey, like, you know, I'm not really feeling that tonight, like do we want to do like this instead, you know? And I just think um it can just like help you as a person. I think that's one thing I've learned. Like recently I decided to make my birthday like a little bit more of a big deal because I think I learned from people growing up that, oh, you know, just play it cool, just like pretend that you don't have your birthday. No, no, I'm done like playing the pretend game. Like I think my birthday's cool, and I want my friends to also think it's cool and share that day with me. You know, I don't want to just I don't need that day to be my own day. I want it to be shared by all my friends who care about me, you know? And I really think there's something to be said for that. And it was weird for me, and I didn't even realize that it was weird, but like I realized that I never really am the one to like, I wouldn't say that. I do organize things, but it's more so for like events that we all know we want to do, like a big party. Like there's been mention that like, you know, a bunch of people in the friend group like want a big get together. So like I can organize that. But in terms of like a birthday, I was like, dang, I haven't planned my own birthday like ever. So um yeah, I mentioned this a few episodes ago, but I reached out, which like never happens, and I was like, hey, I'm doing this. I want you guys to be there to celebrate my birthday. And it was just sick. Like we just went to the park and played volleyball. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but I'm like, that was dope. And like um and I don't think it has to be your birthday to make those things happen, right? Like if there's something that you want to do, that you want to experience with other people, just ask, you know? Like it's that simple. And if they say no, then so be it, you know? It's like, okay, well, I'm still going to do it, you know? Don't let that like get you down. Like you can still do the thing, you know? Um but yeah, in conclusion, like if you like the movies, go to the movies. If you like X, Y, Z, do it. And if you want other people to do it with you, ask them. Like it really is that simple. I think like um recently it's felt in my mind like it's a lot more complicated than that, but it really isn't. Like um and it really isn't that deep. Like do the things that you want to do, live the life that you want to live with the people that you want in your life. You know, like it sounds so simple. And I think it is, but I think our brains like to like um make it more complicated. And I won't blame my brain. Like I think like there's a lot of like social dynamics and like um you know, interpersonal communication and relationships. Like it just makes it more confusing, and sometimes it's hard to see like, you know, um you know, does this person like kicking it with me? Who cares? Like honestly, like I'm just like I've learned to just let that go and be like, if they don't want to hang out, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't like me. And if and eventually, if you ask them to hang out 3 or 4 times and they say no enough, it's like, okay, like I'm just gonna move on then, you know, like it's just not worth my time, you know. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Um, and hope you guys enjoyed Wisdom of the Week. Hope you guys enjoyed a little story time with Jeremy. Is that what the title's gonna be? I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of crunch time for me, so I'm just kind of trying to lock in these last few weeks, man. I'm like really starting to hit a burnout in terms of, I think a lot of it's like socially related. Like I have to get my social battery from something. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. And LOTG.